It's been 3 years since the United States exited from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, and now Moscow and Tehran are calling to rescue the Iranian nuclear deal that initially had been violated by the Americans by unilaterally walking out of it. Russia has now made it clear that the Iranian compliance will be possible only if the United States returns to the deal. In the first high-level meeting between Moscow and Tehran's top diplomats, the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has urged for unity between Russia and Iran. And these talks have come just days after Iran has urged the United States to make the fundamental choice to lift sanctions and also to reverse policies of the Trump era. Iran wants to make the nuclear deal happen, but time, of course, is running out. Legislation passed by Iran's parliament in December requires Tehran to boost uranium enrichment and limit UN inspections if sanctions are not removed by February. The Biden's election has also raised hopes that Washington may return to the nuclear deal table, but it remains to be seen whether this, of course, will happen. Meanwhile, Israel's military chief has ordered his forces to step up preparations for a possible offensive against Iran in the coming year. The comments by Lieutenant General Aviv Kochavi have come as Israel and Iran are both seeking to put pressure on US President Joe Biden ahead of his expected announcement of his approach for dealing with the Iranian nuclear program.
I have instructed the army to prepare a number of operational plans in addition to the existing operational plans. We are taking care of these plans and developing them during the coming year. Those who decide on carrying them out, of course, are the political leaders, but these plans have to be on the table, existing, ready and practiced.
Now, the 2015 deal puts curbs on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the easing of the crippling economic sanctions. Israel has strongly opposed the deal, saying that it did not include sufficient safeguards to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. Israel welcomed the Trump administration's withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear agreement in 2018. However, since Washington pulled out of the deal, Iran has, of course, started to breach key limits in a staggered manner, building up its stockpile of low-enriched uranium, enriching uranium to high levels of purity, and also installing centrifuges in ways that had actually been barred as a part of the accord that the Americans first violated. Now, Kochavi, that is the Israeli general, has said that these actions by Iran show that it could ultimately decide to push towards the possible building of a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, new US President Joe Biden has said that he'll be seeking to revive the Iranian deal with certain changes.
Recently, we have seen with the change of the administration in the US, the Iranians have already announced that they want to return to the previous agreement. I would like to state my position, a position I share with all my counterparts when I meet them across the globe. A return to the 2015 nuclear agreement, or even if it is a similar accord with several improvements, is bad and wrong from an operational and strategic point of view.
The Prime Minister Netanyahu has threatened possible Israeli strikes against Iran in the run-up to the nuclear accord in 2015. However, the plan was put off after divisions in the Israeli military administration.